Good morning, everybody. I'm Sterling. It's morning right now. It's coffee time. I was going to do a class this morning on pronunciation in American English about how we run everything together. I made a previous video, which is sort of an outline of how that works. And what I want to give you in this video is an example. I'm going to tell you a little story of something that's actually happening. First, I'm going to tell you the story correctly. I'm going to tell you using good pronunciation. Then after that, I'm going to repeat the story because you will already know what's going to happen in the story. I'm going to repeat it in a way and at a speed which I would normally speaking to another American. So here we go. Here we go. This is about This is the correct form. I'm going to put all of this together in a little set of paragraphs so you can hear what you probably are going to hear most of the time. So I'm going to try to talk exactly like I do in normal conversation. And all of this is designed to get your ears accustomed to people speaking in shortened words. You know this happens in Spanish too. So I'm going to tell you a story about trying to get my internet service changed over. I have still got a contract with Megacable, and I got it when I moved into the first house we lived in here. And the reason I picked Megacable is because I thought they would have service in all of the cotos here. Well, it turns out that they don't, but that doesn't matter. That does not matter because there is no other cable company on this street anyway. And for my business, which includes teaching people online, I had to get something else, at least until Megacable gets their act together. And I did. I have another service for now. So you might ask, how did I figure all of this out about getting Megacable connected? I had to ask a lot of questions, and nobody could give me an answer. I almost could not believe it really at Megacable. Here's what happened. First, I went to Megacable with my old modem. I had been using it for months at my other house. And I presented my identification, my ID, because I figured that would be all I was going to have to have. Of course, it wasn't. Actually, the very first time I went was in the afternoon, and I should have been there super early because there were like 20 people waiting in line. And they have these X's on the floor, and you have to stand 1 meter away from everybody. So it's a really long line that makes the line look even longer. And I might have waited, but I had to get back home to do a class. So the next time I got down there, they were just unlocking the doors, and there was a guy ahead of me. But that wasn't so bad. At least I wasn't going to have to wait more than a few minutes to get to talk to somebody. So when I got to the window, I told the lady that I had moved from an older area in my colonia to the new street where there was still construction going on, still houses being built. And I even brought my bill from CFE. Well, I actually forgot to say that I went early another day before that, but I should not have forgotten the CFE bill. And that first time, she told me that you have to have comprobante de domicilio. We call proof of residency in English. And I asked her, I didn't have my bill, and I said, "Can't you just check and see if there's service on my street?" And she said, "No, before I do that, you have to have proof of residency." I said, "Okay." I thought that was rather dumb, but I had been running across this attitude everywhere I tried to do anything here. You would think that somebody would care, but they really don't. In business, it seems that nobody is ever willing to try very hard if they work for a larger company. Okay, so I went home and I got my electric bill for proof of residency. And of course, it was a different lady at the window this next time. But I got there early and I didn't have to wait because there was just one guy in front of me. And I got to the window. I gave the lady my ID and my electric bill, and I explained to her again that I had moved and I just wanted to find out if they can connect service in this street yet. So she looked up and she said something like, "Well, I don't know because that street is not on the installation map yet. So that probably means that it's not there yet." So I asked her if she could call somebody to find out. And she did. And in a few minutes, she came back and said, "If you've got other things to do in Centro Sur, I will get you an answer in a while." And of course, I'm telling you this in English, and I'm talking like the lady would talk if she were an American in the United States. And of course, all that was really in Spanish. But if I were to explain the story in Spanish, I wouldn't be able to illustrate all of this lazy talk in English, and it would just be a story, which could be fun too. But anyway, that's not the point of my video. So I did. I had to get some things done at Walmart, so I went and did that, and I came back in a couple of hours. Well, then she still didn't know anything, so I asked her if she could make a copy of my bill and of my ID and just send me a message on WhatsApp. And she said, of course. But they did not do that. So the next day I was back there at opening time again, second guy in line again, new lady at the window this time, and we went through the same stuff again. And she looks at my address, she stares at the computer screen for a while, and she finally says, "There might be service there, or maybe not. I'm not sure. You should go ask your neighbors if they already have a Megacable account." And I looked at her kind of in disbelief. I said, "I'm the customer, and I'm here to find out if you can continue my service here. I already am paying a bill. I already have a contract. I just have moved to a new house. You're the company. And isn't it the customer's and it isn't the customer's job to find out if there is service at the new house. That's the company's job, isn't it?" She didn't have an answer. I actually was a little more polite. She said that if I could give her the account number of another Megacable customer on the street, she might be able to know if they could connect to my house or not. So I just said, gracias, and that was it. I still don't know if Megacable can connect me to their internet cable or not. And of course, if there is a cable in the ground that I could connect to, it would belong to Megacable or Telmex, because if I would choose another service like Total Play, they would be renting the cable from Megacable anyway. And of course, I also tried talking to Telmex on the phone, and I was left on hold for over 30 minutes twice and never was able to speak to a human person. So I gave up on Telmex. In the meantime, I got this radio link internet service called Coeficiente. I think it is a point-to-point communication that maybe gets its service from a ground station on the next mountain, which is over in El Tapatio, or whatever you call these lumps that we live on. I call it a mountain. We live in Cerro del Cuatro, which is actually a 20,000-year-old inactive volcano. It's a landmark in the south part of Guadalajara. We live near the top, so of course we have got a great view. And now I have got internet that seems to work pretty reliably through this radio link, but I would like to have a wire connection as well for a backup. That's the story of internet connection told in good English. That sounds exactly, well, close to exactly how it should sound. So I'm going to do this over again in sloppy English, and I actually think that this came out to be so long that I need to do it in a third part of the video because you may have turned me off already. So with that, thank you. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll tell it to you exactly as I would tell the story. Subscribe to my video. Talk to you again in just a minute in video number 3.